Today in this video, I'm going to be discussing what I think is likely to happen next with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship after the shocking ending to Monday Night Raw last Monday. And in case some people might not have gotten a chance to see or might not have heard about it yet, I'm talking about Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed betraying Seth Rollins and the Vision completely breaking down. Now, with that being said, let's pick up where we left off and let's get into where I think this is going to go. So we are now at the edition of Monday Night Raw for October 20th. I have a feeling the show is probably going to kick off with Seth Rollins coming out basically saying he's truly injured, which I truthfully believe after the pictures we've seen of him. I know we've seen pictures before, especially when he did the whole Ruse of the Century thing, but I think this is legit and I think this is a real injury. So I feel like he's going to open the show. He's going to come out basically saying he's injured. He is going to have to go away for a little bit. He's probably going to have surgery. So he's probably going to be out for at least 7 to 8 months. Probably missing WrestleMania. I feel like he's probably going to relinquish the championship and lay it in the center of the ring or hand it over to Adam Pearce. Now, they may do a segment with Seth Rollins. Either way, I do think he is going to have to relinquish the championship, and I think it is going to become a vacant championship for the time being. Now, I think that night we are going to also be getting I think Adam Pearce is going to announce a triple threat, not a number one contenders match, but a winner of that match faces CM Punk at Saturday night's main event in Salt Lake City for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. And I have a feeling it is probably going to be Bron Breakker, Jey Uso, LA Knight. Now, I know Jey Uso and LA Knight just had a match on Monday Night Raw, a triple threat match with CM Punk, and, they just lost their opportunity. But I feel like this can almost be given to them as a second chance opportunity. And I feel like if we do get that triple threat, we are most likely going to get Bron Breakker winning that triple threat. So we get Bron Breakker versus CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. Now, with it being a triple threat match, I feel like the Vision is going to interfere in some way, shape, or form to help Bron Breakker pick up the victory. When I say the Vision, I really just mean Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. But I do feel like they are likely to interfere to help Bron Breakker pick up the victory. Now, if they don't interfere, it would be kind of nice to see Bron Breakker pick it up on his own, which would help a lot more people be like, oh wow, this guy is legit and he's really going to do it. But here we are, Saturday night's main event, Bron Breakker versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I think it would be a really good match, and I think it would be a really good showcase of Bron Breakker. We already know how much of a star CM Punk is, and I feel like a lot of people would tune in basically with the mindset that, oh my goodness, CM Punk is finally going to get the championship, and he's finally just going to be able to hold on to it without dealing with the Seth Rollins problem. That is where I think things are going to take a turn. I feel like we're going to get to a turning point in the match where it's going to become very close. It's going to become neck and neck between Punk and Breakker. Punk's going to end up hitting a GTS on Bron Breakker in the center of the ring. Ref's going to go down 1, 2. Ref is going to get pulled out of the ring by a hooded figure, and I think that hooded figure is going to reveal himself to be none other than Austin Theory. I foresee Austin Theory joining the Vision because it's been in a lot of rumors and it's been a lot of speculation that was what's going to happen, and I can still see that happening even with Seth Rollins not being in the faction anymore. So I feel like at Saturday night's main event, we're going to get Austin Theory showing up, costing CM Punk the championship, and giving it to Bron Breakker, with Bron Breakker becoming your new World Heavyweight Champion. And if Bron Breakker does indeed win the World Heavyweight Championship, I can see him holding it all the way up and through Mania 42. Now, after Saturday night's main event, we have the build-up for Survivor Series War Games. I do have a feeling that if Austin Theory ends up joining the Vision and aligning himself with Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, we are still going to get the Vision versus a face team in some capacity in the War Games match. Now, as for participants in the Vision's team, I can see it being Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre. Now, the team I can see them going up against is CM Punk, Roman Reigns, the Usos, and LA Knight. That will make it a 5v5 match. Now, I could be wrong about a couple of those selections. The Drew McIntyre one, I'm not feeling the most confident in, but you never know. But I definitely feel good about the babyface team. Now, I know during Crown Jewel, after the Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns match ended the way that it did, Roman basically said to the Usos, I don't want to see you guys until Christmas. I don't want to see you guys until then. But I do think they are going to have to break that, and I do think they're going to have to get along to make it through this War Games match, just kind of like they did last year. They kind of just had to reconcile, join together to take down the new bloodline. I feel like they're going to just run that back again. They're going to have to team up, and if they end up losing at Survivor Series, this could progress the stories between the Usos and Roman Reigns even more. Now, if that is the teams, if the teams that I did pick are correct, even if they're not quite correct, I can still see the heel team coming out on top at War Games this year. Now, after the War Games match, we kind of enter into this lull period, which is from War Games pretty much all the way up until the Royal Rumble 2026 in Saudi Arabia. Now, we do have John Cena's final match, which that is going to be on the Saturday night's main event, which is going to be December 13th. And I'm going to make a different video kind of predicting who his final opponent and final match is going to be against, but that is for a different video. I do not see Braun Breaker being the final opponent, and I also do not see Braun Breaker putting his title on the line at that Saturday night's main event. He very well could, but I just don't see it likely happening. I feel like he's going to hold it all the way up until the Royal Rumble, where maybe we get a match against, I don't know, we'll probably get some sort of match if he's still champion in some way, shape, or form on that Royal Rumble card. But as my prediction for winning the Royal Rumble, I think Roman Reigns is going to win that Royal Rumble, and it is going to bring us into Mania 42, where we get Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, they've done a lot of teasing with this Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker match. At one point, we thought, hey, maybe we'll get it at SummerSlam. At one point, hey, maybe we'll get it at Crown Jewel. Maybe we'll get it at Clash in Paris. And they keep giving us Bronson Reed versus Roman. I think they're really holding that Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker for a big show like Mania 42 in Vegas. And if they do end up running that in Vegas, I very well could see Braun Breaker beating Roman Reigns and retaining the World Heavyweight Championship against him. They've been slowly building it up. And something just tells me that they're, like I said, they're saving him for a bigger show. And I can see with the Royal Rumble being in Saudi Arabia, I can see them wanting to give the Royal Rumble win to a guy like Roman. I know, yes, he's won it. I think he's won it once before, and people are like, well, we don't need to see it again. But it would kind of change the story a little bit to have Roman being the one chasing the championship instead of somebody chasing him for his championship. I think would be a little different. So yeah, I'm going to predict that Roman's going to win the 2026 Royal Rumble, and then we get Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of people were saying the rumors are speculating that it could be Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and we could go that route as well. But I feel like you'd have to have Brock either win the Elimination Chamber, or you'd have to have Brock win the Royal Rumble, and nobody wants to see either of those again, let alone Brock Lesnar winning the World Heavyweight Championship, especially in 2026. I feel like they could save Brock Lesnar versus Braun Breaker for possibly SummerSlam next year, which is going to be in Minneapolis, Brock Lesnar's hometown. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think we probably are going to get Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at Mania in Vegas this year, or next year, early next year. But I just don't see them doing Brock Lesnar versus Braun Breaker, especially if Braun Breaker is holding the championship going into Mania, unless they put the title on Brock instead of Breaker, and they do Breaker versus Brock, World Heavyweight Championship on the line with Brock Lesnar defending it. Breaker defeats Brock Lesnar. I just don't see that happening right now. So like I said, I'm just going to predict we get Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker WrestleMania 42 for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm going to be bold in predicting this. After that match with Brock Lesnar and Braun Breaker at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, I think that is when we get our Seth Rollins return. And I think Seth Rollins goes after Braun Breaker and goes after the championship that he never lost. And that's where I think we start getting the whole Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins story. Now, just like the Bloodline story and just like how this Vision story has played out, I do feel like over time we are going to see a lot more cracks within the Vision. I feel like we are eventually going to work towards that Bronson Reed dissension between him and Braun Breaker. But for right now, this is just what I see happening. I don't know if any of it's correct. It's just me kind of predicting based off of everything that's going on WWE television right now. If you guys agree with me, that'd be great. Let me know. If not, put your own predictions down in the comment. Other than that, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to keep it a little bit short, but still just trying to fill you guys in on what all I think is going to happen. So like I said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.